Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Freezer Smoke and welcome to another tutorial. Today we're gonna be looking at an Afropop beat, especially in the style of this amazing guy by the name of Intaba Yase Dubai. He's a South African Afropop singer signed under Ambitious Records, and he does this amazing sound that I like. It's very open and very happy, and it's rooted in a lot of African music, in a lot of South African music. And yeah, we're gonna be looking at his sound. It's a very simple sound that we're gonna do. So we're gonna look at the chord progression, we're gonna look at the drums, we're gonna look at the melody, a guitar melody, and then we're gonna look at the bass line. So those are like the four main elements of the beat, and those are the most important or the only elements that you need to create this type of sound. Anyway guys, please subscribe to the channel for more tutorials like this. And yeah, let's get right into the tutorial. We're gonna start with the chord progression. Our drums, our beat is at 88 BPM. That's the beat speed. And then we're gonna start with the chord progression. We're gonna look at the chord progression first. Now this is our chord progression. That's the chord progression. So you can have an E-piano to play this, or you can have Rhodes or all that type of sounds, or you can have like a piano and play it with a real piano. It's not a problem. So that's the chord progression of the song. I recorded the chord progression into this audio file. And then the next thing that I did on this beat was create the guitar melody. Let's look at the guitar melody. This is a guitar. It's an electric guitar melody that I used here. So you can use any electric guitar that you have in your DAW. Okay, let me just fix that guitar because I played it on the palms. Yeah, I just need to switch it to sustain. Oh, it's not switched. Let's just click it again. Sustain, please. We're just gonna try and load another guitar. I have an ample guitar here. It doesn't want to change from the palm guitar that I played it on. It's called like a muted guitar. I just want to play it on the first guitar that I played it on. Makes no sense right now, I know, but you will hear in a second. Let's just wait for this to load. And it's gonna take a little bit of time to load because I've opened this DAW on the 32 beats, and my computer is the 64 beats, but I have to open it on the 32 beats to open some other sounds that don't open on the 62. And then the problem is that most of my VSTs, like the guitar, is I've installed it on the 62 beat. So when it has to go down to the 32, it has to bridge back to the 32. So it takes time, but now it has opened. So I just want to copy that and paste it here. So let's listen to the guitar. Yes, that's the guitar melody. So I played it here. Let's listen to it in context with the chord progression. Remember, I made this in context with the chord progression. Everything that's here is made in context with the chord progression. I play the chord progression, then I play everything else on top of the chord progression. Yes, that's it, right? These are like two VSTs, only two sounds, the chord progression and the melody, and the song already sounds full enough for an artist to come on top of it with vocals. So the other thing is, I recorded this, I think, on Rhodes. So basically it's the same thing that plays with the chord progression. I just wanted to layer another sound on top of that. So there's no change, it's just playing what the chord progression is playing. Alright, and then I had this shake. It's called the Street Rat Shake. Right, and then I have this. And then in context, this is what this sound like. Alright, and then here I wanted to start with a drum pattern. The intro, the second part of the intro, I wanted it to have the drum pattern. So this is the first part of the intro, and this is like the second part of the intro. I wanted the second part of the intro to have some drums just to build up the song to the drop, right? So I used the Congo here. This is the pattern I played. And then here, what we have is the drum, right? And then down here we have another, it's a conga, so it plays this pattern. So here, when you come down here on control and change this to pen, note, pen, you can see that I've penned the notes from right to left. So if you're listening to this on your headphones, on your earphones, or on like two speakers, you will hear that it's penning from left to right. So I just penned it here. When you change it here, usually it's on velocity. You change it to pen, then you can just pen from left to right how you want your notes to play. Yes. All right, let's get into the drums. So these are the drums. We have a kick here layered with another kick, and then we have different type of percussion sounds. And this is the drum pattern. Alright, that's our drum pattern that plays throughout the song. So you can create any drum pattern that you like. It has to be a groove that you love for your beat. So most of our African songs are based on your percussion. So you need to get your drums correct, right? And most of the time, what I use to create a good drum groove is my mouth. With everything else, what I used to create this guitar melody was my mouth. You know, I start with a little bit of just when I play maybe the chord progression. After I play the chord progression, let's play this. You know, that's what you do. That's how you create melodies. Well, at least for me, that's how I create melodies. I have to play it with my mouth, then so I can play it on the DAW. Because for most of us, I understand that we don't have musical instruments. We were not fortunate enough to grow up in families where we can afford to buy musical elements, but we like making music. So we need to find a way of making this music sound realistic and make this music the way we want to make it, with all our limitations, right? So we find a way to work around it with VSTs. Thank God we can have VSTs, and we can use these VSTs to create sounds that we could have created with real instruments that we can afford. So yeah, this is what I usually do. I use my mouth to create the sounds in my head, then I play it on an instrument. Then when it comes on an instrument, it sounds like music. It sounds like somebody is playing a guitar, but no, it just all comes from my mouth, and I program it into this thing. That's how we do it. Anyway, that's how you even do your drums. Right? When you have that in your mind, when you have that groove in your mind, you can then take that groove and try and find sounds and say, yo, I need sounds here that can create the groove that I have in my head and put it on my song, right? Okay, guys, so let's go to the next thing on the song. Probably the last thing on the song is the bass line. So the bass line, let's go to the bass here. The bass is here. All right, let's listen to the bass. So this is the bass that I played. Basically, it plays the bottom notes of the chords, with some exception here when I change to another chord progression, right? There's some exception. So you play the notes, and then maybe at the end you do a little bit of a melody. At the end you change a little bit of the melody, change the melody, change a little bit of the melody, right? So it also, you can play this with your head. You know, the mouth can play every instrument, okay? Don't underestimate the mouth. The mouth can play each and every instrument. So you can play it with your mouth, simulating a bass, and then you can create a bass line from that. You hear that? You hear that? I play that with my mouth. So let's play it with the chord progression. And this is what I was listening to, the chord progression, to create the bass line. You know, we can all do those things, right? When we listen to music, we actually do those things. You know that is your bass, you're right? Anyway, guys, those are all. Whoa, why am I closing this? Cancel. Anyway, those are all the elements in our beat, and those are all the elements that create our beat. So I think the most important thing that you can take away from this tutorial is that you need to create music from your head. It needs to come from within you, right? Not some music theory. I know most people think, oh, music theory, you need to learn this, but I think our music, we've been learning our whole lives. We've been listening to this music our whole lives. So we have an idea of what we want to take and mix it with what to create something that we want to create. You know, for me, I like to taking old South African music styles and put it with modern music styles and create a new sound. We all have that in our heads. We all have that type of sounds that we want to get into. So the best way to do that is to know how to create that music before even stepping into your VST. Many people think the DAW make your music. DAW doesn't make music. FL Studio doesn't make music. You make music in FL Studio. You're the one who comes with the music, so it has to come from within you. All these melodies, all these chord progressions, they come from within you. When I sat down to create this beat, I already had the chord progression in mind. I didn't have the other elements, but I had the chord progression in mind. And using that chord progression in mind, I was able to then create the layers, which were really few. It was the guitar melody, and then it was the drums, and then it was the bass line. Those were all the elements that I needed to create this song, and then it sounds like a full song. I'm gonna go ahead and play this song for you in a moment, but let's just get into a few of housekeeping things here at Freezer Smoke channel, shall we? So I've just went through a change where I separated my channel. Now I have two channels. I'm gonna leave the link down below for my other channel where I post beats. So this channel that you're currently watching this tutorial on is now mainly only for tutorials. We're only gonna post tutorials on this channel, and then the other channel is where we're gonna post beats. So if you want to listen to beats that I make, you can find them on my other channel that I'm going to link down below. And in this tutorial, on this channel, we're gonna have only tutorials. And also I want to let you guys know that because our channel is now monetized, which means we're making a little bit of money, you know, like a little bit of money from the channel. I'm gonna post for the income for the first month. It's not a lot. It's such a low income for our first month of monetization. I think on the 11th of October, please look out for that. On the 11th of October 2021, we're gonna be posting our video for the first month of monetization. So we got monetized this month on the 9th of September. Next month we're gonna post how much we actually made from YouTube, and I'm gonna give you guys tips of how can you make money on YouTube. You know, mostly I know that when I'm speaking now on this channel, I'm mostly speaking to producers who want to make an income of out of their production, right? So here we're gonna also go into tips of how to make a little bit of buck with your music. Alright guys, thank you very much for listening to the tutorial, and please come back for more videos. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. If it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Please also hit that like button. It lets YouTube know that you enjoy the content that we're creating. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go ahead and play out with the beat now. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. Bye bye.